So, modern Mario's Cement Factory
This is gonna be weird.
is exactly as boring as classic Mario's Cement Factory. So this time it's not a cement factory, it's a cookie factory?
What?
That's cookie dough. Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
So you get these cookie dough that comes in and you drop it, and sometimes the factory is haunted. Sometimes ghosts will show up and they'll hide in the ovens. And a ghost in the oven, all it does is take up space.
Okay.
So, but yeah, you see there, we're producing cookies from the oven, and on the left we've got Yoshi who just eats the cookies, and on the right we've got Toad who's packaging them. And Yoshi over there gets very excited if he hasn't been fed in a while, and if Toad hasn't had a cookie to package for a while, he falls the fuck asleep. Toad knows how boring this fucking thing is.
Oh dear.
Also interesting about here, you do not get a miss by stepping off into nothing where there's no elevator.
Oh.
You just fall. You only get a miss if one of the things gets overflowed, or you hit the top, or you hit the bottom. Like that.
Fall damage.
Again, like with all of the modern games, at 2, 5, and 700, you get a heart that clears a miss. Or with most of the modern games. There was nothing like that for boxing. But, yeah, this, again, exactly as boring as classic. Okay, actually, slightly less boring than classic entirely because it has music instead of a monotonous beeping of the elevators moving. The monotonous beeping of the elevators in Classic was really, hypnotically putting me to sleep a lot. This one, it was easier to stay awake through. But it still takes 10 minutes to get through 100 points. So, and then, yeah, occasionally the ghosts will show up and hide in the ovens, and you have to kick them out, and they don't give you any points for doing so, they just take up space.
So, this one, I guess lore-wise, makes about as much sense as anything else. They've automated the production of cookies so that they can both feed Yoshis, which are notoriously necessary to feed, or they will devour us all.
I think that this is perhaps this is meant to be some kind of preparation for the next Yoshi mating season. That, the next time a Yoshi comes to demand food, we have this cookie factory available now. Yeah. We can just be producing cookies for them, and Yoshis love cookies.
Mm-hmm. It is both their currency foods. And their
performance-enhancing drug.
Why was that?
Anyway, yeah, that's what's happening here, I guess. This could just be their a trial run where they have Yoshi the Yoshi named Yoshi, or perhaps this is the first time they're actually needing to use it to appease a Yoshi. Mm-hmm. And they've got Toad there, or a Toad, I'm not sure if that's Toad the Toad named Toad, but there is certainly a Toad there, packaging the cookies, half of them being fed to this Yoshi. The other half being packaged to give to other Yoshis to appease them. Spread them around so that people who aren't at the factory can use them to sate any Yoshi that puts them in a corner and demands food. Also, ghosts like to hide in ovens.
Which is probably why Mario's there in the first place.
Yeah!
Mario is known for defeating ghosts while a place is in operation.
Also,
like casinos, hotels.
Just consider the design of this factory. Somebody has to go up and manually pull the lever to drop a thing. That's a little weird.
Yeah, I think this is supposed to be manned by more people.
Probably.
And they all ran away because there's a bunch of ghosts.
Yeah, that actually makes more sense. Yeah, I think that's it, yeah. They had this factory set up. There's supposed to be a Toad manning each of the 4 stations, but the factory's haunted. So they ran off, and so Mario has to be the one to operate it, and he operates it for as long as he is physically able until he fucking collapses from exhaustion.
Luigi is probably dealing with the source of the ghosts at the time.
Possibly.
Which is going to take a long time because it's Luigi dealing with ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah. He can box one ghost with no problem. When you have plural ghosts, that's when things are gonna start
inside a haunted factory?
Yeah. He's gonna have some problems with that. But, I mean, he's gonna get it done. He gets the job done. He's just terrified the entire time.
Yeah. And we don't know what's going to happen if that Yoshi doesn't get fed.
I mean, we saw he gets, like, very antsy when he hasn't been fed in a while.
Exactly. We don't know what happens if he's not fed.
So, yeah, that's Modern Cement Factory.
No cement. And then you died.
Yeah, and then, again, this was exactly as boring as Classic, so we hit the end and I gave up. I wanted to show off what happens when you get other types of misses. So the toad there cries when it's covered in cookie dough. Perhaps because it's terrified the Yoshi will come and eat him.
That's fair, honestly.
Hard, similar to Classic, the elevators don't stay in one place for as long, and there are more gaps between the elevators. But otherwise, it
is not hard.
It's not particularly hard, no.
Okay.
So, we're gonna go very fast forwarding through this, because we've already run out of things to say, and there's so much of this freaking game.
Hi. There's so much. Look at how much there is.
And just like in Classic, there are stretches of like up to 30 seconds where nothing is happening. There's nothing on screen for you to even think about reacting to. I went an extra 200 points past 1,000 because I hadn't recorded seeing a heart at this point yet. And I wanted to see if I could get one at 1,200, but no, you don't get one at 1,200. Only at 2, 5, and 700. You don't get them after the 1,000 loop.
What do we got?
Now, you unlocked the Lifeboat, a horizontal multi-screen game. Only 4 people fit in your lifeboat, so be careful.
Wait.
Lifeboat.
Wait.
You have a lifeboat.
It seems to be on fire.
Oh no, that's the cruise liner. The lifeboat is below. The people are jumping off of the cruise liner. We'll see it when we get to it later, when we get to the museum stuff.
So, is Mario's Cement Factory on very hard, very hard?
It is exactly hard at 1,000 points. As you saw, I got to 1,200 points with 0 difficulty whatsoever. I did not see any appreciable difference at 1,000 points here. I did not see any appreciable difference at very hard. It is still fucking boring. This is still the worst Game & Watch game. Okay, not the worst Game & Watch game. That's Spitball Sparky. This is the most boring Game & Watch game. And Modern did not do anything to make it any better. So, that's all I've got to say here. See you next time.